Detroit, Michigan, a city that's experiencing a rebirth. The auto industry's hold on Detroit is loosened, and it's establishing a whole new identity. And the water is a big part of the comeback story. The city is situated between Lake Erie and Lake St. Clair, which are connected by the Detroit River. A vessel heading north on the river will have the U.S. to port and Canada to starboard. Detroit doesn't get the credit it deserves as a boat-friendly city. It's always been a major port. The Port of Detroit manages more than 13 million tons of cargo every year. But new development and a riverfront revitalization has the Motor City revving its engines. Chris Paulum handles marketing and communications for Ilmor Engineering, the marine engine manufacturer based on the outskirts of the city.
I had the opportunity to give a lot of tours and bring a lot of new people through the city and have them experience it by water. I think it's one of the best ways to see the revitalization and see everything that's going on in Detroit through the lens of the water. We're transiting up the Detroit River. The Detroit River flows into Lake St. Clair, and then on the north end of Lake St. Clair meets with the St. Clair River, and then the St. Clair River empties out into Lake Huron, which is the next Great Lake in line.
This is the skyline of Detroit as you would see it from Windsor, Canada, on the opposite bank of the Detroit River. Windsor, by the way, is the only place in Canada where you look north to see the USA.
It's a stunning fall day in Michigan, calm waters and bluebird skies. A beautiful backdrop for an equally beautiful boat, the ultra-modern Aviara AV36. It's powered by twin 430 horsepower, 6.2-liter Ilmor engines and has a slick, swanky look from the upholstery to the finishes to the helm station. The water has always come in handy here, dating back to the city's founding as a trading post in the early 1700s.
Detroit was founded as a French trading post. Obviously, from that, it grew up on the water. Then the water provided ample access for the automotive industry to grow and develop here, with all of the raw materials coming from northern Michigan by a freighter into the Detroit area to be turned into materials to make and assemble automobiles.
The 52-slip harbor at Milliken State Park provides access to the area's many photo ops, including the park's 63-foot lighthouse, GM Plaza, and the Detroit International Riverwalk.
Central to the entire river experience in Detroit is the beautiful Riverwalk with a number of small parks and concert venues and civic gathering spaces that stretches the entire expanse of the downtown river run through Detroit. A really phenomenal way to experience the city and capture all the attractions.
For a unique entertainment experience, anchor up for a show at the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater.
Great place, you can kind of anchor off right here. You know, you're right backstage. Detroit is in the middle of an absolute renaissance. Over the past 10 years, the city's seen countless new restaurants, developments, droves of new people moving into the city. It's really been phenomenal to watch. And it's great to see the city kind of coming back to life and the river really being an important part of that. The city, which was once centered strictly really around the automotive industry, is now being fueled by technology and entrepreneurship and startup companies who are finding a home here in Detroit, and that's driving a lot of younger people to move into the city, bringing a lot of new energy to the city, and it's just fantastic to see.
The tower cranes along the riverfront are a reminder that a bigger and better Detroit is currently under construction.